quite hilarious.
Oh my god, we're going live.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Three
god,
quarters of an hour later.
Can't type? Right, I got it. I've understood it. Right, open attack for the SI. Hunter, Charger, Boomer, Smoker. And the Witch is already spawned, so it's going to be an early Witch, as always on this map. I'm sure we'll see the tank eventually as well at 60%. Survivors have pushed out of the safe room. Looks like the SI are going to be saving for the Witch here. Strange.
Indeed, yeah. It looked as though the Hunter was sort of like deciding whether to go forward or backward, but strange. We're used to seeing a hit every time and about off that pier, and they're saving for the Witch.
I guess they're banking on the fact that if they go to trigger the draw crown, they might trigger the tank as well, which of course if you can get an in cap, there is the tank indeed before the Witch is crowned. Hit is coming in, Charger whiffs his charge, Hunter does land his pounce, Hunter has been cleared, Smoker Pole does not go out, and the Witch does get an in cap.
Jerkstore.
The Jerkstore goes out, there is still 2 SI up, tank is going to roll straight in and they're not going to get him up. Rochelle does get pulled, tank takes that intercept. And we are seeing the punches go for Rochelle. Is 2 punches from down, 1 more punch. Oh, tank whiffs the punch. But that is Rochelle in cap. Tank is now going for the corner in on Nick. Going for the jump rock instead. Hunter is jumping around on the roof. And tank is going to get out of there. And we're going for it. Tank goes in, lands the jump rock. Oh, this is going to be close actually.
Wow, that was just for quite a bit. Super was missing his punches. Oh, we're having some serious problems now.
And there's the door. Well, the tank is virtually dead. There's 3 survivors down, 1 of which is being pounded by the Charger. There is still a Hunter around as well. Charger has now been cleared. And the Hunter does finish off Coach. That is going to allow Nick to pick up his teammate, however. The tank really can't go in on this.
Just do not know what is going on anymore, folks. Supposed to say.
Welcome.
Nope, tank is down to solid 216 HP, but does land a... And the tank is going to be finished off. Smoker has spawned, but I can imagine him getting picked very short. Hunter getting skeeted. Survivors do lose full health bonus on 2 survivors and 1 survivor to a Hunter, but they are still alive.
And for all of that, Null, also known as Locke, somehow still holding on to 100 HP despite all of that shit that was going on.
Well, that's the Witch out of the way, the tank out of the way. They've got 1 more hit to take. It is going to be a pretty big hit, though. They do have the Charger and the Spitter, and he's going to be a prime time target for that. A Smoker does spawn up in the back along with the Hunter, but survivors are already safely inside the kitchen area.
Yeah, they have chipped the Smoker as well. It's about half health. There is a Charger, Spitter, and a Hunter. Could be a pretty devastating attack. They've got a chance here to seal it off with a tri-cap and get a wipe. If not, they could be letting Locke run into a safe room with 100 HP at the moment.
Yeah, well, landing this charge spit is going to be big, especially if they can land it on the bonus. If they trigger the car alarm, though, and do manage to get an in-cap from a charge spit on anyone, that'll be good for them as well. But the hit's going in, the Hunter gets M2, the Charger takes Nick, the spit goes down on it. Smoker is still alive. But that's a big chunk off Null's bonus. Not as much as it could have been, though. But they are going to make it in. The 3 survivors. And a comfortably respectable 141 health bonus. So, pretty well salvaged. I mean, you can't really hope for much more than that. Especially with 3 survivors.
Yeah, but say it's Parish Map 1. There's potential for a huge score differential here in case Helheim don't slip up the same way that Razor did.
It comes down to that same scenario basically with this whole Witch thing. I mean, I was surprised to see them pull that Witch or go for the crown even right after spawning the tank, purely on the basis that they weren't going to be able to chip the tank at all, so they might have just gone back to a safer place to take it. I mean, I guess there's always a danger to a degree of leaving that Witch up should anyone get jockeyed and taken out in that direction, but if that happens, there's a good chance you're going to get wiped anyway.
Yeah, and it's not just that as well, but it's the fact that there wasn't actually any SI nearby the Witch to really pressure Razor. He just sort of went for it as quickly as he could, but I don't know, maybe it's a server issue, maybe he just wasn't as close as he thought he was and we pulled the trigger a little too early. But it looks like the SI here are actually going to hit early. They're not saving for the Witch, judging by their position.
does seem to be. The Hunter has pre-spawn. Boomer's pre-spawn as well. Boomer's going to get popped instantly. The Smoker gets a momentary pull, but he's instantly cleared. Charger is getting mowed down. Does get the charge, and the slam. And the Hunter gets taken out. So that is going to be the first attack over and dealt with. I don't think we have War on, do we, Kiss Me? Nope, no War on. Survivors are going to trigger the tank. Look, they are going to trigger the Witch as well. Tank has now spawned. Witch dealt with, and we do have a Boomer and a Jockey for the SI. Third spawn coming up is going to be a Smoker. So I guess they're going to be sacking this hit relatively quickly.
See by the stream chat that Rails is watching this match, so he is on hand in case we need it for a serious dispute.
Indeed. We do have the tank in the hands of Razor. We do have a single boom landing though, allowing the tank to sort of cross near enough unscathed. We do see a Jockey coming in from behind, gonna latch onto the back of Nick, gets cleared quickly by Rochelle. Tank is currently making his way across the rooftop. And he'll make it into position after taking about 500 chip, give or take, so by no means a difficult crossing for the tank. I now have like 4 fucking spitters on my HUD thanks to all the specs, but I'm gonna put up with that for now. Good old spec.
Boomer, Charger, and Smoker. That's what they got, and Razzle's on his second pass, so it looks as though he's going to have to go in with this hit. And 2-2 formation by the Survivors. A Charger going, not getting a charge anywhere near. Smoker's pulling Coach to the back. There is a boom on Ellis. And Razzle is getting a punch. He gets Nick down. Only one in cap on Thug Life, and the others pretty much get by unscathed.
Yeah, so a pretty solid take of the tank by Team Helheim, I mean, with 4 survivors as well. Only one down. I mean, Coach did take a couple of hits from that. Nothing too drastic. 1 set of pills committed, 3 sets of pills on him, and you know, really good bonus still on 3 survivors. So it puts him in a really solid position, as you said, to make some extra distance points. I mean, making it alone with 4 survivors puts him near enough at the bonus that Alerion were on.
There's a Charger and Smoker is up next. Actually, I've got multiple spitters because there's Dana and then there's Kiss Me. He's also a spitter on my HUD. Their attack's going in now. We have Hunter landing a D25 DP onto Hunter. I think a Charger got railed down. The Spit couldn't do much, but nice DP there by the Hunter.
Yeah, it's a good bit of chip, but unfortunately, I was about to say before that hit went in, this is a dangerous place to hit, because that's essentially safe from now for them. Without the boom in that hit to slow the survivors down, that pretty much puts them at the safe room. They do have a Charger, however, and a Smoker, but that is going to be them in, and the door is closed. So 492 bonus. You can already see what the differences are making it with 4 survivors over 3 years.
Indeed, yeah, and I just hope for Alerion's sake that it doesn't turn out to be the dreaded Parashmat 1 syndrome that catches him out at the end of this match.
Well, worst case scenario is obviously the situation with the event tank, or the potential to have that really early tank, the sort of 18% one, where if you can get in quick enough, you can, you know, cause a lot of problems for the survivors. Such a horrible area to get boomed in because the common spawns from about 2 or 3 different areas from different directions. And just for people asking, there is no cast HUD because we're on a server where we do not have caster privileges. So none of those funky designs are up and running, unfortunately. So you'll have to bear with it. Spec HUD and us is all you got.
And yeah, I mean, some people mentioned Supra's tank was missing punches and so on. That's because there was quite a severe amount of lag and server spiking going on at the time during that tank.
Yeah, we only had it for about 10 seconds, maybe 15 tops, but that was a pretty crucial 15 seconds.
Actually, a tank here is at 49%. That's going to be interesting. Because 49%, I mean, to my mind, that should be just before they reach or even touch the door that starts the event.
Well, I think stepping into the event area itself is 50%, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
So they should be able to trigger it with all 4 survivors right at the event door. In theory, this is Left 4 Dead, and this tank spawn is the one which consistently bugs out, if anything, whereby one team will get the tank to trigger while they enter that little cedar van, and the other team have to actually start the event in order to get the tank to spawn. Which, if that is the case, that's going to put it's actually going to put Alerion in a pretty bad position again. I mean, they're already behind after the first map. I mean, if they get that scenario on this map now, where they're going to have to fight the tank in the event, while Helheim have the luxury of taking it back, never good. And of course, with the generic run back to take this tank in a more open area in the park, you know, you lose a pass and a half near enough, and pretty much have to instant commit.
Indeed, yeah. I think for EQ3 we've actually blocked the 49-50% tank just to avoid any major complications of people having to restart the game, because one tank spawned before the event and one spawned just as it started.
Well, there's a couple of scenarios. There's not many of them, in all fairness, but there are one or two sort of really, we'll say picky for now, instances whereby the tank can spawn before or after an event. I have no particular gripes with tanks that spawn during the event, because, you know, it's just a mechanic you can abuse as a survivor to stop the horde should you require to. But when there's a tank, it kind of works the same way in which the Coaster did on Dark Carney 3. There was that tank that spawned right at the button, and you'd have the other team where it wouldn't spawn at the button, and they'd actually have to trigger the Coaster to get it running. Which is fine, because as soon as you back out of there, the horde stops anyway. But then at the same time, it's like, great, now as soon as we kill the tank, we have a horde pounding us from every direction. But we are alive.
Mm-hmm. First hit, we have a Hunter Boomer Charger and a Smoker. No spit, but if they get the Boomer and the Smoker working nicely here, it could cause some real mayhem. So, I'm going to see. I've got Kiss Me and Dope Boy both as... Actually, I've got 3 Hunters on my HUD at the moment. And yeah, this is the one where we can't respec, because we get kicked automatically 5 times for respectating. We've essentially got a broken in-game HUD here.
Yep, well, we do have the Boomer being triggered a bit preemptively. Smoker is up, as is the Charger. And we're going to see the traditional bait for about 5 solid minutes while they try and pick the Smoker while avoiding the Boomer not getting charged in the safe room door. Charger does take a shot from some pellets to the face, though.
And Alice is trying to basically snipe for that Charger. There's a Hunter coming in, but it's going to be an obvious bait, I think, as soon as they heard another SI coming. Just dug right underneath safety of our door frame. Charger's coming in and gets a charge on Nick. There's a Boomer going in as well, smoke on Ellis. And they're trying to bat away that Boomer before it gets a proxy on Nick.
Well, they got the big damage dealer, which was you know, the Charger in this sense. The Hunter was taken out before getting anything. But they still did manage to get a couple of hits in. I mean, we've seen 23 points of damage, which may take up 1 or 2 more times because of the double boom that's out. But all in all, I mean, I think they salvaged that hit pretty well, considering they got baited out pretty harsh.
Reloading! Indeed, yeah. It's, well, we've got a Spitter Smoker and a Hunter and Charger now. Obviously, ProMod recently changed their spawn times to 16 seconds, so there's going to be a little bit more action now. And the attack already up. Hunter's looking for that DP. They're already picking him, though. Charger and Smoker combining. I think they all wanted to go on Michelle, who is in the spit. Super taking quite a bit of damage there.
Well, it worked out pretty well. I mean, you know, the traditional, oh, look, a Skybox Hunter. I'll direct my attention at that for the next 10 seconds. Paid off pretty well there. The Charger was able to pretty much walk in, get himself a comfortable charge, and the spit on top of it as well for that additional damage. We do see a Witch being taken out as the survivors progress forward. Next hit is coming up. Might see the sacks here. I'm not sure, because, I mean, with this tank spawning potentially now, they might want to save this hit, because they do have the Charger and the Spitter to hit in the alleyway. Of course, they do have the Boomer as well, just to cause some additional headache. It looks like the SI might want to go in off this.
Well, they do have a Boomer. Well, they have a 2-2. I would at the very least consider sacking the Boomer, but it might be a little bit too late to do that. The Boomer has actually not land on anything. There's Spit as well, and charge onto Nick, takes a bit of damage.
But the tank is up as well, so I mean, probably the best time to waste that hit.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they weren't gonna do anything significant up front, I don't think. So, I mean, Dana has got control of the tank now. He's taking the way at the bridge. He's probably going to be already second pass before he even lays his eyes on the Helheim survivor team.
Although he might drop down to about 20% on his first pass, so he's near enough definitely going to lose his first pass. But, Christ no, he's definitely going to be a lot lower than that. I thought the grace period was a bit longer.
They placed a bin in the way of the door frame, the gate frame, to slow the tank down, and he's already on second pass. He's going to go actually into the center of the park, trying to get on the hedge. I might actually want to play rock tank here.
It's a bit risky to do with such low frustration, and the risk of missing this opening rock is the fact that you have to take so much chip to retain side. We do see a charger landing in the background.
Oh.
Hunter getting skeeted. Smoke is still up, going for that pole. Well, at this point, I mean, they do only have shotguns, so the tank does have a bit more to play with. They are going to pressure the smoker, though. We do see Ellis getting pulled momentarily, but Coach is going to get the clear. You know, the tank is just kind of forced to run around in circles on here while trying to maintain side.
Indeed. Folklife's not actually taking his pills just yet. Oh, we got more stutter.
We do.
But Dan's not actually losing his frustration all that much. That is actually a boom landing on Nick in the background. But they need a bit more synchronization and coordination with their attacks here, because Dan's not really getting a break with his rocks. Charger trying from so far away when the rest of the attack was already down, and there is a pause.
Yep, the lag is going to cause the pause to be...
Oh, an invisible charger, apparently.
Oh. Oh dear.
I don't know, I could see it.
Well, we are kind of in spec. Looks like the game is going to go live.
You can see it on Kiss Me stream. I can see the charger there, at least the outline of it from a distance.
The tank does whiff the rock. He has taken about 1,000 chip, but he's still maintained... He's lost about 10 frustration since he got to this area.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about this area, though, is that there's so much open space. You've got such a distance from the tank for where it's throwing rocks. So they're unlikely to land when you're considering teams of this caliber. Like, you're expecting to shoot down rocks like 99% of the time anyway. So really, I think actually the way they're seeing it is let the support do the job here. Just let them pile in the damage little by little. See how long they can keep them here. We've got a boomer getting popped easily. But there is a rock landing onto Coach, onto Miro.
That's not bad. Miro was holding probably more bonus than most on the team.
I think, yeah, I think he was the most. I mean, he's taken a little bit more chip as a tank, but still 3/4, still enough frustration on second pass. Oh, we got more server issues, more spiking.
Yep.
And here comes another attack. Oh, actually I thought they were going to, but no, they held back.
We got baited. Boomer getting picked instantly. Charger and Jockey getting mowed down from range. Rock is going to whiff. Charger does get a charge, but gets cleared during the animation. I mean, but Thug Life at this point, he's not going to commit his pills until that tank commits in. And it looks like they're just going to play this to the full duration of a rock tank. Tank's down to 3.6k. I mean, if he commits on this, he's screwed.
I'm actually surprised that Helheim are keeping this at the far back. I'm sure they're confident in holding back this rock tank from where they are. It's just they're just eating bits of damage little by little each time the support goes in.
I guess in the longer viewing of things, you know, a couple of ticks from a smoker or a jockey ride is nothing over what this tank is going to be able to do when it does come in. Do you see that momentary full landing? Hunter gets taken out on the other side as well. The tank is just continuing to throw rock. He is now being pressured quite heavily by the survivors. This is down to 2.9k HP.
And he's losing frustration. This is going to be pretty close unless he does something. He's got to expose himself greatly now just to keep frustration. And he's going to go in, try and get a rock.
Haunted Vagina Mike. And the tank is on 5%. He is going to be able to fully commit. The jockey does land. He has been cleared. The SI are pretty much down by this point. This tank is going to go dead if not AI. Yep, and there's the AI. So tank dealt with. Not really much to speak of there. I think he landed a rock. And that's about it. Everything else is sort of existential damage from previous attacks the SI have done and what SI went in during the tank. And that noise was Dragon's Haunted Vagina microphone. Welcome to it.
Mm-hmm. Apparently K3 has the same thing as me. Same issue.
Because K3 is haunted in general.
Indeed.
We do have the event being triggered. We do have a jockey coming in from behind, Smoker from in front, and the Hunter coming in. Hunter does land the pounce in spit, double spit actually, and Cole going back through it. And Coach was holding a pretty solid amount of bonus there as well, so that's going to be another set of pills committed by the surviving team. I probably won't see the bile committed till after this next attack though.
And as we saw there, it's because the survivors started pushing that suddenly the tank lost whatever advantage it had. It just wasn't able to sustain that long-distance artillery. Had to move in closer to keep frustration with low HP, and just had no choice.
Well, the situation they're in now, health-wise, is pretty much the situation they'd be in had that tank have committed on 6k HP, I imagine. Landing a rock or two is pretty much all you can hope for in that area, unless you get a quick corner. But we do have the next hit for the SI up. They do have the Hunter pre-spawn. Charger spit around Smoker looking to go. Hunter does land a 17 damage pounds. Charger comes in, whiffs the charge, does get a fister. The pull does go out on Coach once more, and he's in spit, stuck with common. So there's his pills omitted and the rest of his perm. But of course he hasn't taken it down yet, so he still holds quite a significant amount of bonus.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, the last couple of attacks have actually a bit better, but I think it's due to the nature of the event and having to run through congested areas with lots of common and lack of movement space. Just having to deal with the charge spit. So as a Boomer getting popped nicely by Thug Life, they have a Hunter trying for DP from afar. They kind of know where he is though, and what else do they have? A Spitter and a Jockey.
Well, it's going to be one of those situations whereby prime target is going to be Yota, and wow. Hunter once again landing another big damage pounce. And that time it was Thug Life that took the brunt of that, so that's going to be the last set of pills, which he's going to have to commit. But once again, still no downs on the side of the survivors. But it does put Alerion in a pretty good position here to sort of really put all their efforts now on Ellis and Rochelle, who are holding the last of the real perm bonus. I mean, even if they waddle in now with the survivors losing the last of their perm but not actually taking it down, they'll still be up for a pretty big bonus.
I think they're content with just holding it out here as well. They're not in a rush to get to the safe room. Even though there are two leads, they also need to think about the long game here and preserve what bonus they've got, because who knows what Alerion will do on their survivor round.
The hit is coming in, we do see a smoke ball go out in the back. Charger is going to whiff the charge, Jockey's coming in from underneath, and the Spinner is just going to spit on the stairwell above himself. Well, I said stairwell, it's more like an archway. The survivors are going to be able to push through the last remnants of this area. And this is pretty much going to be one more hit to take right outside the safe room door for them. Health-wise, they're in great shape. They're all fast, and they've got one person to act as a sponge in the front and at the rear of the team. Spitter is going to have to preemptively spawn and try and delay the survivors. There's a Hunter looking for a damage pound, Smoker waiting to go, and the Charger. They all do get their spawns to come in. Nick does get caught by the Smoker and the Charger, and Rochelle does get one or two ticks from the Hunter. But that is going to be the attack dealt with. That is going to be safe from. No survivors taking an in-cap that round, and a solid 336 bonus.
That's actually a decent result, I think, for Helheim. They probably would have wished for about another 100 or 2 bonus, perhaps, but you know, anything can go during that event. I mean, you can either keep hold of their bonus really well and survive it, or they could easily do one misstep on one of the corners there and just, you know, absorb so much damage and so many in-caps. They can all go pear-shaped in a moment's notice.
I mean, I think they were definitely in a position to get that extra 100 or 200 points bonus. I think they were a bit overzealous in their own kind of pushing and clearing power as they went through that the first hit of the initial event, because that caught them by surprise, and it seemed to do quite a significant amount of damage as well. And of course, the damage pounces, they're landing, they're catching quite a few of them. I'm not sure whether that's a result of them not focusing as much on the Hunter, because I mean, they took a big charge hit just prior to the tank spawn because they were focusing on a Hunter. It seemed after that point he just kind of ignored the hunter, and as a result caught, was it 225s and the 17 damage pounds?
Yeah, there were quite a few DPs in that game. So, yeah, we're just waiting for Khota and Razor's already up. After waiting 45 minutes for map 1 to start, but here we go. After the second half of map 2.
Yep, well, we do have now Alerion on Survivor, Helheim on Special Infected. Opening hit is going to be the Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and Charger. We saw this hit get pretty heavily baited out on the previous round. We saw 23 points of damage going in, give or take.
Could be. I mean, there's no spitter, so you really have to rely on the separation being generated by the SI here. If they can combine the Smoker and Boomer really nicely, like they tried the first time, then maybe. But no, Boomer gets popped. Smoker's spawning far away and can't do anything. Hunter lands a bit. Charger's going to try and land, but actually, no! And plus, bumps the fire hydrant.
He does manage to get a fist off though just before he's taken out, so 18 points of damage. Well, roughly about the same going out. So not bad by any means. 8 damage pounds on top of that. Do see the Charger get a fist, but as I said, Smoker pretty much commentless when it comes to that attack, and of course the Boomer popped near enough instantly as well, so no delay for the survivors.
I can see mentions in the chat of me being a spitter on the Kiss Me's HUD when I said there is no spitter. The reason for that is because if we use the spectate command, either of us, 5 times, we get automatically kicked from the server for doing it. That's why I can see both Battle and Kiss Me as spitters on my own HUD. That's why you could see me on Kiss Me's HUD on the stream, but we can't spectate to fix that, otherwise we'll get kicked for it.
Yep, and while the survivors are scavenging around, it appears, a Boomer did get popped. Not sure if that was an attempted initial attack, because nothing else really went in with it, or whether it was just a sack, because they do already have a charge spit. And they will have one more attack prior to this tank spawn, so maybe they want to hit round about here at this witch and have a hit on the way back when the tank is triggered. Survivors are positioning themselves to draw the witch, though. It looks like Rochelle is going to be the prime drawer. Rochelle does draw, witch is taken out, Hunter does not get anything, the Charger lands in the back, Spit goes down on top, Hunter does land on Code. But 2 slams in Spit and now Death Spit on top, that's going to be a lot of damage on Null.
Oh.
God damn. That is a lot of damage. But thankfully it was all kind of like focused on one survivor. So they won't feel too bad about having to commit a set of pills. But of course it does give the tank an opportunity to bleed someone. But then again, are they really going to be as risky with their tank as Alerion were in the previous round, and committing to a rot tank at 20% frustration? Charger does get taken out, however, Jockey does land. Nice triangle.
Wow. Well synchronized attack, getting the Tribu and getting the Jockey in for a surprise there as well. And I think Nick was still a bit further ahead trying to trigger the tank as well as dealing with an SI himself.
Well, they are going to be able to sort of comfortably get out of this area now into the park. Of course, they are going to have a small army of common in pursuit. No real headaches at this point. We do have another hit going in momentarily, though. Charger gets taken out pretty comfortably. There's a Hunter jumping around looking for damage pounds, and they do still have the Smoker up in Ghost as well, but Tank has just lost his first pass, and he's probably going to be getting down to about the 40-50% mark before he actually gets an eyeball on Survivors. Hunter does get taken out as well, so they are going to have a Boomer. This is going to be risky.
Yeah, he's trying to keep out of sight until he really has to get in it. Running a jump rock though, and well, he's got max frustration now. He might want to think about backing out, but no, he's going to try and play it there. And Ellis got stuck on a tree as he's trying to backtrack away.
Ellis is stuck. Oh no, he's not stuck in the tree, so he can't use that as an excuse. We are going to see a Boomer spawning up right behind the Survivors, and does manage to proxy on one. Tank Rock is going to be skeeted. There is a Jockey currently spawned up at the other side of the tree line. It's eyeballing for now. It's not committing to anything. I imagine they're going to wait for the Horde to trickle in a bit further. Do also have a Charger up in Ghost as well, but the third spawn is going to be coming up now. Tank is taking quite a bit of chip though.
Yeah, he's actually being a bit more forward than Dano was, and he's actually going to go in again for another rock at closer range. But there is
Nice
a jockey
though.
onto Rochelle and a smoker getting in assistance with claws as well.
And the tank gets a rock off the back end of that, so he's going to be able. Well, he takes about 1,000 chip for doing so, but he lands the rock, keeps the frustration. Almost lands a nice curve rock as well.
Survivors have to think about going forward now. They've sustained a few rocks and a couple of support hits as well, and they are indeed going ahead.
Well, they've committed all their pills as well, so they don't really have much of a choice, but now the SI do have a hit. Boomer is frantically looking to spawn just in front of the
Razzle
survivors.
wants chip, and there's a smoker.
Yep.
Lucky to dodge that, but that's the thing though. I mean, Hottar's actually positioned himself really well. Survivors are actually going through the alley. There is going to be a charger up ahead, and a boomer as well. And a proxy double boom at the front, and Ross's actually going to roll in on this.
Well, it's his best opportunity to do so. They do deploy the bile. A pole does go out. We are seeing the charger coming in for the intercept. Charger does get an intercept. Coach gets to clear. The tank gets a nice triple punch off that. And he's just spreading the love a bit now. The survivor's health bonus is being destroyed though. The tank is currently surrounded by all 4 survivors, but he does have SI support coming up. And we do see a pull going out on Ellis. Does get cleared from range. Jockey lands at the back on Rochelle. Tank is dead and Rochelle is down.
Hey, I need some help over here.
Well, that's going to see to Alerion's chances of making the save from on this map. I think they don't even have the bonus or even turn off the button, I imagine.
Yeah, well, they took a lot of damage from the hits building up to that tank. They took a lot from the tank itself. So really good work by Helheim on the special effect, just supporting the tank, basically guaranteeing him some easy punches. Do see a boomer going in there and proxying on one survivor. Looks like the whole attack is going to go in. We do see another incap going out on Alice. Rochelle is currently dancing in spit. Oh,
She got
and the door.
shot into spit by the door.
Nick is down to 1 HP as well. So that's going to be Rochelle black and white.
Yeah, it just seemed like Alerion was sort of a little bit too susceptible to over support and just not being really aware of like the rocks incoming at the time they were coming in. So great timing by Helheim, but I don't know, I just feel like Alerion haven't woken up in this game yet.
Well, they've certainly caught a lot of booms. Every attack near enough, apart from the opening hit, has been a single boom or a double boom. We've seen 1 or 2 triples as well, so definitely not working in their favour catching all these. And at the moment the SI just biding their time while the survivors slowly bleed out. They do now have that spitter. Hunter does pounce Rochelle. Rochelle is on 1 HP. Charger gets a land in the back but does get cleared.
Well, it's to fight another day, but will they actually make the button, I wonder? I don't see them making the save from this for sure.
I don't really see them making a button, truth be told. This next hit will be up by the time they make it around this first corner. And they may only make it around the corner with 2 survivors. By that point, Rochelle's going to be on 1 HP. They do have that spitter just to finish her off. Jockey can now pre-spawns behind the survivor. It's almost taunting in a way that they're just jumping around, causing the survivors to sort of back up and think about going for the kills when they slowly bleed to death. We do have the smoker and the spitter positioned behind the survivors. And here it comes now. Rochelle is going to be the target of the smoker. She's pulled, she's dead. Bit goes out on Nick, gets the incap. Just have Alice and Coach up front here, making their way towards the button. Coach looks like he wants to go for it, but the smoker's repositioned, looking for that pull off. Alice is down to 1 HP. Going for the pickup.
Dana gets pulled before he can reach the button.
Yep, Dana has been pulled. He's probably going to be killed very shortly. Ellis is currently held up in a corner. There's a charger. And a boom. Charger goes for the cheeky stumble through the wall, does not get it. Ellis is dead. Sleep well, sweet friend.
Almost proved us wrong, but Alerion didn't quite make the button turn it off.
Yeah, but that's a 900 point lead for Helheim going into the next map as well.
That's just the end of map 2. We got the rest of the campaign, including finale, to go. My dinner's getting cold.
See, this is why I was smart and ate before the game. Because I knew we would never start on time. So 900 points in it. Map 3. You do have to play Finale, but this is certainly the more endurance-based map of the Parish campaign. I mean, map 4 is by no means an easy one, depending on how, what state you are health-wise by the time you hit the event. But I definitely say this is a map with a lot more viable choke options for the SI to sort of really make some big damage on. Especially when you factor in the ladder choke and the fact that there's going to be a very early tank as well at 26%, so there's hittable potential here. And a wipe now for Alerion is pretty much what they want to put on Helheim in order to sort of keep this a bit close. But this tank can go one of two ways. It's either, congratulations, you've hit the bullshit Honda and it's managed to get yourself an in-cap or two, or you get absolutely nothing with the hittable, you get kited around while your SI gets taken out, and then, you might get a punch or two.
Yeah, and I mean, that could easily happen here, because this is an early tank, it's 26%, and a lot of players who use the car here do try and persist with it a little bit too much, and sort of lose track of, like, the bigger picture.
Well, one of the problems we are going to have with this hit is if it doesn't go according to plan, this 26% tank, if memory serves me, is the one that spawns and it instantly starts climbing the bus. So you do have a solid, if you're close enough anyway, you can get a solid K chip into it before it manages to jump off.
So, first hit, Charger, Hunter, Jockey, and a Spitter. And they're seemingly just baiting this attack at the safe room door. We have the Boomer actually positioned above the safe room. Actually, sorry, is that the Boomer? No, what am I talking about the Boomer? No, sorry, it's the Charger. It just looked like really big and bulbous from a certain angle.
He has a fat arm. But we do have the Hunter currently pre-spawned in front of the survivors behind one of the pillars. This will be a cheeky little spawn crouch right into the bush and go for that quick early pound. Misses the wall kick, however, and gets taken out. Charger whips his charge. Bit goes down on nothing, but the Charger does get a fist into the back of Coach, I believe it was. No, it was Ellis who managed to get a fist on before he was taken out. And this will trigger the tank.
Purple in chat reminding us all that everyone is a pleb. Oh, nice.
Please. Fuck Purple. That has been.
Come here.
Okay, so my premonition on where the tank was spawning was a bit off. Thought it would trigger it by now and we'll be sat on top of the bus. Well, it does give the SI another opportunity to hit on. They do have a relatively good hit to make something out of here. They do have a tri-cap with Spit.
Driver here.
I think they have
landing a
to
charge.
actually make the drop to trigger it. Very close though, its current's like 24-25%, and they're baiting out this hit at the same time.
Smoker.
Smoker does spawn ahead, gets taken out very comfortably and very quickly. Hunter gets skeeted. The Charger is currently up shit creek without a paddle, and the Spitter is just after a delayed spit. Michelle gets out of there quickly though. She gets round and she's on top of the van and over. Charger's been dealt with. And the tank is currently up in the hand of Null. The Slimer's even being relatively aggressive with this tank, but they're not going to be able to do anything significant from that distance with a shotgun.
Well, this is Locke's tank now. He seems to be one of the more consistent performers for Alerion on this game. Yeah, he's carrying 100 HP for almost the entire way of Parish Map 1. That car looks amazingly stuttery for me in terms of his animation, at least. I don't know if you can see it as well, but...
Keep an eyeball on it. We do have a hit going in the back though. Smoker and Jockey combining to get some damage. Hunter looking for that damage bounce as well. He's going to get M2'd and does get a scratch, but then gets taken out. Tank is still on first pass, 30% frustration. Survivors are going to begin the long, fun process of the line of sight. And yeah, that car is stuttering everywhere actually.
Yeah, so it's just severe.
He's got it in a pretty good position though, so hopefully the tank speed of the car is a bit more stable. Survivors are beginning to lay into the tank, however, and they're just doing a terrific job of kiting them around. The hittable is now relatively out of play for the tank. It's going to persist and bring it back in, but the Boomer gets picked.
Oh! Coach just about dodged that, but Yeah, this tank's not having much luck here. He's persisting with that header ball, trying to get a jump rock in. Oh, and the charge did too early. Super is down, but already gets a cheeky punch as well. And another one onto Ellis.
Pretty well salvaged by the tank there at the end. I mean, for the longest time, I didn't think he was going to get shit at that point. But nice jump rock, managing to catch Super. The charger stumble, I think, aided the tank in that sense, because let's face it, the charger had landed, the tank probably would have gone for him his first punch. But they do manage to secure the in-cap on Super, get like 2 additional free punches in on Ellis.
Yeah, I think he went for that car so hard there at the beginning that he gave up a tactical position advantage there. I think what he should have done really is gone up to the top of the bridge and sort of kept the survivors guessing for as long as possible.
Potentially, but at the same time, actually there is an attack coming in. Charger does manage to land, Spitz can go down a lot. Hunter lands as well in the opposing corner, so that's some good amount of damage. Nick taking a lot of that. But I think it was... Oh, never mind, the server is currently crapping out.
Okay, I cannot believe that you just shot me.
Well, this gives me ample opportunity to talk about my story, as the server seems to be back up and running. I think it was a bit of a mistake on the support side there as well, mind you. Because, I mean, the tank obviously had a plan, which was to knock the hittable into play. As soon as the survivors started moving out there, the boomer should have been positioned right above. Speaking of the boomer, he does go in and proxy in on one survivor. Do now have the jockey coming in and the smoker. Jockey is going to land momentarily, but gets cleared relatively quickly. Charger charging in, does land, but gets cleared instantly by Rochelle. And the smoker does get himself a fall. Nice bit of damage and slow plays, uncharacteristically by Helheim.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's them clearing a little slowly, or whether Alerion was sort of picking up their game a bit more with the SI performance. But in either case, I mean, it's kind of even Stevens now with the momentum here on this map, at least between the two teams. Their karma on server again.
Good old service. Nonetheless, I mean, they're still in a good position to make considerable distance on this map. I mean, they suffered, what, 1 in-cap? They've still got 2 sets of pills on their person. We do see a boomer going in front. He's going to get popped instantly, though. And it's just a jockey pre-spawn, looking for a latch on Coach, who's currently separated in the back by himself. Coach takes out the jockey. Hunter is going to pre-spawn and probably look to sack himself. But he's getting out of there, unless he decides to go for a damage bounce. And we do have a whip.
Jota's running slow but isn't using his pills at the moment. He wants to keep that going as long as he can. And do the SI decide to attack him? And they already have a Hunter pre-spawned, but if it doesn't go well for them, they risk giving up a ladder choke entirely.
Well, if the switch does what traditional left it... No, she's actually made it through. She's been dealt with relatively comfortably and quickly. The smoker has been taken out. The Hunter's been chipped down to about 100 and something HP. Well, he's actually on 73 HP. And... oh, I don't know, they have the charge on the spitter, so the survivors have to be careful here not to go a bit too gung-ho, otherwise they're going to get hit right in the back.
It seems like they all want to go from the back, but I...
Yep, here it comes.
Oh, and they missed it completely. I banked too much. They sent 3 SI from the same direction, and the charger didn't even succeed there at all. Just sort of like actually been chest pumping against the edge of that manhole wall.
Well, that was a considerable blunder by the SI. That's gifted them the biggest choke by far in this campaign, I'd say. They are going to be able to traverse the car alarm lot without any problems as well. They'll be able to get the ladder without any problems, as the commons are all from behind. We do have a smoke, sorry, there's a Hunter pre-spawned up above, and now a jockey. Charger is below the survivors, repositioned behind the ambulance as well. But Coach is just kind of sitting up there being the sponge for the team, as he has no perm HP. And he's going to look to take out as much of this attack by himself as he can.
And the Hunter's actually getting chipped from underneath the ambulance.
The hit comes in, Charger whiff. Yep, jockey gets wiped out, and the Charger, as you said, whips his charge and then meets the fate of his face embedded into that telephone pole as well. That's a light pole, actually, isn't it? They're still in relatively good health as well. Thug Life is holding a lot of bonus. I mean, even Yota is holding a solid 20 or 30 perm. And they've only suffered 1 in-cap. So there's still, even though there's no perm HP, there's still a decent amount of HP on, of health bonus on Nero as well.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, they've gone this long with only 1 in-cap. Despite the fact that they've had pretty much 2 people bleeding for almost the entirety of the map. So
they have 1 more hit to take, essentially.
Yeah.
They do find another set of pills, which is going to be passed to Miro, so he will now be fast as well. It is essentially 1 hit at this point for the SI. If they don't make something significant happen here, they're not going to get another opportunity to hit before the survivors are comfortably in the gate of the safe room. Do have the hit coming in. Hunter is jumping in from above. He's going to get taken out. Boomer gets popped. Smoke is pre-spawned behind. Does manage to get his tongue cut by the shot. And then once again by Ellis. So that is a little bit of damage going in, actually. I think it was spit damage on Ellis. He did have bonus. He had a bit more than what he's got now.
Well, they have no spare pills for Hota, who's running a bit slowly at the moment. So I think Alerion are going to get 1 more attack here at the end.
Well, thankfully, Coach has repositioned it. Oh, they do find a set of pills right beside the safe room door. And thankfully, Coach has put himself between everyone. So they're protecting the boat. Jockey gets taken out. Hunter gets M2 taken out. Spitter whiff. Charger stumbles. And then gets taken out by the machete of Coach. So that is going to be the final attack. That is going to be the safe from 4 Helheim. It's very respectable once again, 372 bonus.
And yeah, I mean, well, near enough, 3k. But I don't know, I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a closer game overall and a bit more performance from Alerion, to be honest. They just haven't really been, you know, firing on all cylinders. I don't know what's up with them in particular for tonight, but
Alerion seem to be sort of chugging along in second gear. And this gifts Helheim a very advantageous position where they could just wipe with this tank, and, you know, by this point it's going to be difficult for them to make up the deficit. But, I mean, if they get wiped by this tank, or they take significant damage to this tank, it's going to be GG in Helheim's favour. Do have the hit going in though. Charger is going to whiff his charge. Does get a fist. Hunter does land with a spit on top of it on Rochelle. Decent amount of chip going in. 23 points of damage over and all. And they're probably going to have 1 more attack before the survivors trigger this tank.
yeah, I thought they want to trigger it as fast as possible, but they are going to have to deal with another attack at the same time, I believe, unless Coach is at the front, or else one of them could just trigger it right now. But no, they have a Hunter, Smoker, Jockey, and a Spitter up.
Well, worst case scenario was they rushed this, spawned the tank, and then caught the back end of the hit after the tank was triggered. But we are seeing the Hunter just cause a bit of distraction up above. Rochelle looking for that pick though. And the Smoker's going to come in from above as well. Does manage to get the pull out. The Pounce goes down, spit on top of that. Jockey is just additionally going to scratch out. Let's remove the God Frames a bit quicker so he takes more spit damage. And that is going to be the tank trigger. Tank is up in the hands of Mira. And Survivor's pretty much going to be playing it the same way, getting no real early chip. Going to back straight out, give the tank an opportunity to get his hittable in. And reposition himself under the bridge, I imagine. But it seems when tanks are in play, the serviceability gets worse, because the tank is currently chugging everywhere for me at the moment.
Yeah, same for me as well.
It's having no love with this car whatsoever. It seems like the physics on the car are schwacked. Never mind, he's got it over.
It's right up against the fence, so yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's persisting with his car, it's not really paying off for him.
Oh, it's in! The Honda is in.
Place.
Perfectly positioned. See, the SI have got a very similar setup. They've got the exact same setup actually. They've got the Boomer, Charger and Smoker for the opening hit for the tank. And the Boomers come off the bridge. No, you fool! See, as soon as the tank hits the car there, the survivors are going to try and push right past him and get to the open area. So the Boomer should really be positioned to drop on the survivors. And there goes the Boomer. Boomer does get himself a single boom. Tank is going in, leaving the Honda, kind of? No,
he's trying to get the bullshit Honda, but he's got himself stuck. Has he got himself stuck?
Dear. The tank is stuck.
Miro's tank is stuck underneath the bridge.
It's gonna TP on top of one of the survivors, though. Nope, it's just dead.
And wow, okay. Okay. I don't know if Rails or any other admin watching wants to weigh in on what just happened, whether there should be something regarding that.
Oh dear. Drama.
About a few weeks ago on Hard Rain Downpour, these very two teams played each other, and Razal got stuck in a ceiling survivor, got punched by Supra's tank, got walked outside of the building into the sky, and fell to his death. Oh, map 3 here in this parish game, again between both same teams. Miro's tank gets stuck underneath the bridge, or his head inside the bridge as a tank. Support gets shut down, and they basically unload all manners of lead into his tank, and he dies.
I guess we'd have to wait on that big decision. I mean, let's face it, I don't think it's going to impact the scores that greatly. At the same time, we'll see how it goes. I'll let the admins debate this out. The benefit of not being on the admin team.
So, yeah, very strange. Didn't honestly think we would get a repeat of people getting stuck in the ceiling and dying because of it in the same teams in the exact same stage of the match. The lightning really does fucking strike twice.
It seems that this has unfortunately been plagued by errors. We had the delayed start because of server ping issues, and then we've had a server which is, well, let's call it deeply unstable. And now we have this situation where someone has managed to get themselves stuck with a tank. I mean, it was completely unintentional, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, what do you do in that situation? The tank couldn't even free himself. I think he was trying to punch his own car out from underneath him, but it just wasn't happening.
It's very strange. Well, I mean, assuming that the admins gave the okay and to carry on as is, I mean, assuming that's what's going to happen, I mean, I don't know if it will. Alerion is still 1,700 points behind. So, if they somehow are going to be gifted this, they really need to make the most of it. But, yeah, I don't want to sort of make any sort of predictions at all until we know what's going on and what Rails or any other RBT admin decides.
Yeah, you can't exactly make a judgment call on it either. You can't say, what the tank would or wouldn't have gone. Because it only takes one hit of that card to sort of result in 3 easy in-gap. Or it only takes, one wrong punch of the card to hit it completely out of play, and the tank gets nothing anyway. So, let's move on to situations.
This is the thing, though, that I've seen a couple of times before. I mean, say, for example, a tank is climbing on the edge. I remember a long time ago, actually, and Purple in the chat will remember this because he was playing in that match. There was a Left 4 Dead 1 throwback match on No Mercy finale, and I think it was Leo Basic's tank. He was climbing up the pipe on the edge of the building, and because the survivors went to shoot him, he basically pressed spacebar to drop down the pipe, but he jumped too far backwards and ended up falling off the rooftop entirely and sacking his 6k HP tank. Now, in that sort of situation, they didn't actually gift the team a restart. for that.
Well, I mean,
Because
I think that's down to, human error more than anything else. But in this situation,
True.
I mean, the tank by no means meant to get himself stuck. I mean, it was bullshit mechanics, unfortunately, on L4D's part.
True. I mean, yeah, that very much was human error, and obviously Miro had no intention of getting himself stuck under the bridge. But I don't know. Maybe it would link to the same thing as saying, well, even though him getting stuck on the bridge was intentional, neither was a tank jumping off the roof intentional either. It was just sort of like human error, and Miro didn't account for that at the time. But I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm just saying that there are different ways of seeing this. Actually, Purple, if you're obviously watching the stream, can you tell us in chat how you remember things from that particular point? Because that was obviously a very amusing self-kill for Leo's tank, but obviously you were playing on that team, so you'll know it better than any of us here, I think.
Now we wait for things to continue, slowly but surely.
Yeah, Miro's tank had about 4 to 4.5k health when he was punching the hittable around and then got stuck. So he still had about 66-75% health remaining. Oh god, Purple. He's getting food whilst I was asking that. You know, Purple,
I told you, not to be relied upon. He's useless.
do you remember the throwback match you played years ago with, was it Karja and Philanthropy? And it was Leo Basic's tank, and he pressed spacebar when he was being threatened by survivors. He jumped off the rooftop of the No Mercy building on the finale, sacked the tank, and I don't think you guys got a restart for it. Yeah, actually, I know he remembers it. Because as I remember, I think they just played on. I mean, it was human error, definitely, for what the tank did, but it was a sack tank that was at full HP, didn't get anything completely out of the running, and they just played on. And Purple saying Miro got stuck, no restart. Okay.
It's safe to say that my enthusiasm for the outcome of this match has been severely impaired by the events that have taken place during it. Well, keep playing is the call by the admin, so keep playing, hopefully the teams will agree to do.
Well,
I mean, still an 1,800 point difference as well, so I mean, even if they make it the full distance points, any bonus they get on top of that, it's just going to be, near enough omitted by that point, I imagine. Because I mean, let's face it, Helheim's SI haven't exactly been lackluster thus far. There's a lot of map to go. There's essentially been one hit.
Well, I mean, for Rail saying, carry on playing, in a way, he is remaining consistent with a decision made earlier regarding when Discovery got his head stuck in the helicopter and couldn't move, even though their team's bonus was equal to that. It was going to equal the score of proximities. Their basis, I think the decision made behind that was because apparently if it happened on a map earlier, or a few maps earlier, then there wouldn't have been a restart. I think that was the final decision made, and well, if he's remaining consistent to that, then it's probably going to be the same here. There's not going to be a restart. So things are getting a bit frosty between the two teams here, and well, understandably so. It's a very controversial moment once again, and we have quite a few controversial moments in competitive L4D2. But we are going live once again, finally. And Alerion have a humongous health bonus to that incident with Miro's tank.
Well, we do proceed into the next hit. We do have a smoker pull going out momentarily. Pounce is looking to land, but doesn't get anything. Rochelle then twos it out of the way and gets out of the spit. Smoker is taken out, and as is the spitter promptly. Not really much to speak of in that hit going in, but at this point, I think just wait to see until the end of the round what the situation is likely to be. I don't think we'll be seeing Helheim try any out there attack, so to speak. I think they'll be trying to get the best hit they can for the traditional choke areas.
It's a very tough call to make for the admins here. I mean, if they decide to do anything further regarding that.
Well, we do have a boomer surviving, well, sacking on one survivor, I should say. And it looks like the SI are dropping. I don't know, are they going to try and risk it and go for this hit on the witch, though?
Well, there is a pre-spawn hunter up right by the witch. They kill the witch, they pick Miro's hunter. The spitter spits by the witch. Is Hotar actually going to run in with the spitter, though, or save it? And Rochelle's going to go for it, gets the crown.
Well, just a hunter site. They should hopefully get the smoker when they get a boomer, so this is going to be difficult to gauge, you know. Do they hit at the top? Do they try and split the survivors, boom the two top ones out, and try and hit the bottom?
Looks like the SI position themselves up the top of the ladder, so I think they're going to hit by the ladder.
We see a lot more teams now choosing to hit from below, or at least letting one survivor go up and trying to capitalize on him with something easy like a smoker, and, you know, then pouncing everything else on the three survivors at the base of the ladder. We do have the boomer pre-spawn though on top of the white van. Jockey and Charger both respectively pre-spawned. We do see a single go out. I mean, the Charger can charge Alice when he's stood on that little pipe and drag him up to the top, but he will be cleared relatively promptly by his teammates below. Unless, of course, the delay split goes out and spreads at the base of the ladder. But at this point, the boomer's vomit is going to be back up by the time the survivors start their ascent up this ladder again.
I have to remind people that, you know, even though it was a very controversial moment, there's still a humongous score gap for Alerion to try and reel back in. They're all going up, and there is a massive charge. This is going to be a massive attack from Helheim.
The weird thing about that is the Charger went across the top on my screen and then ended up at the bottom of the ladder. But that was strange to see. But we do have the Jockey currently riding. Coach does get clear. It's a decent amount of damage going in though. Overall, 4 survivors actually.
Yeah, that was. I'm not sure what Alerion were hoping for when they did that, but they sent 2 survivors up at once, both getting full charge. Actually, one got charged over the top, and the other below got caught in it, I think. There's a hunter and a spit as well, and a charger to follow up, and gets caught in. There's more spit. There's Coach, and that's going to be Dana going down.
The health bonus is getting chunked down quite a bit. I mean, this is without a tank as well, so it goes to show that it might not have that much of an impact on the scores as some people would like to think.
I guess we're gonna have to visit that graveyard.
So next up, Boomer, Hunter, Jockey, and a spare 2-2. So no smoker or charger, which will probably help a lot more in this sort of area, I think. But
well, essentially, with the amount of health they have and the amount of speed they have, we've only got about 2-3 more hits to take. But we do see a nice Jockey landing. Hunter's coming in looking for the intercept. Jockey's still going. And the spit goes down as well. Thankfully, Coach and Ellis are just outside the spit puddle. And the boomer does get popped without getting anything.
Yeah, I mean, Razzle got himself a little bit separated from the opposite direction and then had the jockey to follow on after that, so I wasn't sure about that. But they just need to not have any slip-ups. I mean, they'd easily make this just one more attack for Helheim, as long as they do it right and position themselves correctly here without getting themselves too separated. There is a jockey up front, though. He has been spotted and dead stopped and shot down. There is a charge and spit waiting, as well as a smoker. And it looks like they might actually just try and combine on one of the survivors with bonus if... Well,
Nick would be the prime target. I mean, he's holding the bulk of the... Coach goes ham and actually does not get insta-pulled by the smoke. The charger is coming in from a distance behind. He's going to get taken out. Spit goes down, but that's dealt with. That's the last attack for the SI. They'll get one more SI, which is going to be a hunter, which isn't really going to pose much of a threat. And that'll be safe for them with a pretty sizable health bonus as well. So it'll be interesting to see what turns it takes after this, when I imagine Helheim would dispute the scores somewhat, should they fall into a situation. But, you know, they're still 800 points, well, 700 points, 755 points ahead, so going into map 4, I don't think this one's give or take.
Yeah, and there is still a finale to play as well, so map 4 alone isn't enough to decide here what's going to happen. I just wonder how Helheim are going to sort of react to this psychologically. I mean, they played reasonably well enough on SI and brought down the bonus gradually as the map went on. And they still have a 700 point advantage, considering this is a 700 distance map, and it's quite an endurance one as well. Very heavy in terms of SI power here, especially with the tanks. So, I don't know, I still feel like Alerion are still quite a far bit behind, even though there is the finale to play after this, but it's quite a tall order trying to get one up on a team that's actually been performing better than you consistently throughout a match, and then having to turn it around on a map like this.
Yeah, and while, you know, map 3 is generally the more endurance-based map, this is not without its problems either. And we've got a 56% tank, so it's probably going to be a pool room tank, which is obviously more favourable for the survivors than the SI. But it does open up opportunities for the SI to get the cut-off on the run back. It does open up the opportunity for just, you know, a tank which forces the survivors to take it on the straight.
Yeah. People asking in the chat what the current score is. It is 2,760 to 2005. You were saying?
Oh, I was just going to make a comment on, you know, the event can go abrupt for one team and pretty smooth for the other team. I mean, unless you're lucky enough to get multiple pull-offs with the smokers, the team are trying to cross and they're all on low HP. So you can be through that event in the space of 1.5 attacks.
And we're just waiting up for Vec to ready up. You know, I'm actually quite surprised that we've got through this match so far without having to restart a chapter, considering everything that's happened. And Survivor's heading out now, going 3 pump shotguns and 1 Uzi. And they have a smoker, charger, and jockey and a spitter waiting for them. Looks like the jockey's going to come from the left. Charger and spitter are going to come from the right, actually. And smoker up front, they're just biding their time. They're slowly coming out of the safe room one by one. The smoker's going to go first. The jockey's coming in to try and get one on Coach. And the charger lands a couple of fists onto Rochelle. There is a bit of spit on Coach and Nick, so actually nice damage.
Pretty solid spread for the opening hit. I mean, there's, 4 survivors taking damage and 3 survivors taking a bit more than they probably should have in that situation. So we are going to see another hit coming up, probably at the end of the street. Where's the witch as well? It's a very late witch, so don't have to worry about dealing with that prior to the tank spawn. or the event in itself. We do see the hit coming in. Boomer's going to fall behind the survivors. Does get a boomer on the survivor trailing in the back. But we do have a smoker, jockey, and charger. I think in this situation it's probably best to save these SI, wait for the spitter to replace the boom, and then hit as the survivors drop down into the garage area.
I'm gonna grab this katana.
Yeah, I mean, I felt a bit strange that they tried sending a boomer in from the back there, but maybe they want a spitter here instead in this area, and it would work. They have a charger, jockey, smoker, and a spitter.
They have big damage potential, it's just the tank will be before Kismet. I think it's like 60% or something, or just after that is the one where you've actually got to drop in to trigger the tank.
Yeah, I think 60% is right at the end, final cutoff point before they have to drop and trigger it.
Do see the hit now going in, all the SI coming in from behind. We do have a smoker landed. Charger whips, unfortunately doesn't even get a fist before it gets taken out. That's the attack dealt. Probably going to gift the survivors enough time to start this tank off as well. They're going to have to go all the way to the third floor to do it, and they do manage to trigger. So we see a restock of some ammo for Supra, and they're now going to back out of here and hopefully try and make it across this white van before the SI are in position to really prevent them from doing so. We have a boomer, jockey, and a charger. And here it comes. Boomer's going to get popped, jockey unable to get anything, and the charger isn't even going to go. The tank is able to make it down the stairs, and he'll be able to cut the survivors off should they try and push the pool room.
Yeah. And I think they can sense he's already in there.
Yeah, they should know by now. I mean, if you don't hear him hitting any dumpsters, then any tank near enough that you have to... Unless you go straight around, you're not going to get into that pool room before the tank is in. So it looks like a bit more of an advantage area for the SI to make use of. The tank is going to commit, however. And they do have a boomer. The boomer rockets in behind, goes in, gets himself a boom.
This could be it, but the tank's already pretty low and he's missing his punches again. Sliced up by the melees and goes dead so quickly.
A quad boom landed. I mean, sure, the smoker was cleared pretty quickly and the charger did land as well, but the three survivors that were up just made mincemeat out of that tank.
I mean, it was amazing boom as well to land on all four, but it wasn't enough to help out Vex, and especially with all those melees just slicing for him like a joint of beef. And so, we have a jockey going in the front on his own. The spitter, Hunter are still waiting. I thought we had a charger, but that's apparent. Oh no, we do have a charger, sorry. Oh, we have one landing on Nick, who's not the bonus. But he does go down. That's going to be Helheim's first in-cap.
I got these pills. Better.
I want you to have this.
I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Razzle's the only one with a spawn up of a smoker, and we have the next attack here now as they're coming out into the float event area. The jockey, Hunter, and a spitter. Miro and Thug Life have no bonus left. It's pretty much all on Super and Hota.
Well, they do have two sets of pills. They have more than enough HP to sort of survive two big hits here from the SI. They are about to trigger the event, and that is going to trigger the hit for the SI. They're all getting chipped from quite a range. Jockey is going to get taken out. Hunter does land, gets cleared quickly. Spit goes down a bit late. The Smoker goes for a repull. It was all on Supra, who is permanent HP, but I don't think he really took much from that at all.
Man, they ain't not gonna stop coming.
I mean, that's going to be a bit of a blow to Alerion's plans as well. I mean, they were gifted the fact of the tank not really being playable for Helheim in the previous round. So they didn't have that to deal with, and then managed to make the whole map with bonus. And now they've got a situation whereby essentially they could have wiped with that tank, and they haven't. We do have a single boom going out. The rest of the SIs coming in. Jockey gets an instant cap in on Rochelle. Hunter misses his damage pounce, but the charger does land on Supra. It's a bit more of a bonus chunk down while the Hunter goes in for some additional scratches. But still, two sets of pills, three survivors fast. It's looking pretty good here for Helheim, pretty convincing.
It is, yeah, they just gotta basically protect Hotta and all his bonus now. I don't think, obviously they can hit Super a little bit more, but
Hey, we can get across.
if they find more spare pills, that's gonna actually help them get to the safe room, no doubt. But no, none in the cabin.
With.
Yes, of course, they still have a witch as well at 81%, and that's gonna be inside the next house. That's gonna be before the drop.
Well, they do have a pretty good hit poised to go in here. They do have the Spitter, Smoker, Charger, and Jockey.
Yeah.
But they really need to get the Charger in on code.
They might actually give away the witch to attacking here, and they do decide to do it. There is a double charge going on with the spit. Not on bonus, but Bug Life was almost went down again. He would have been black and white.
Well, he's definitely going to be the sacrificial lamb for the witch crown now. There's no point Coach risking it, being the one carrying all the bonus. Thug Life doesn't really have much to speak of, even if he jerks does this. He's probably better off doing so, because they can just pick him straight back up. A lot of separation though happening in the back. Rochelle instead takes the crown. Boomer jumps in between three survivors, gets M2'd around and triple procs. That's going to set the jockey in. Smoker unable to find spawn, now does get one, but the jockey's been taken out, the hunter's been skated, and the smoke is cleared near enough instantly. It's the home straight for Helheim, right? Well, they might take, well, they're definitely going to take one more hit right outside the safe from door near enough. That last sort of alley.
There's the bridge.
There's a lot of chat in the stream chat going on about Killing Floor 2. Not pro until you got level 25 and all 6 perks, guys. Get on it. Boomer gets popped right at the end. We got a Smoker and Spirit trying from afar. Charger desperately looking for a spawn. And gets one onto Nick, but it's cleared before he can complete the charge, and that is going to be everything as far as Alerion can do at the end. And what is the score there? Well, they've got 3,724 after 4 maps. And 1,719 points. That's a gap that Alerion have to make up.
Yeah, and they've got a particularly difficult tank to take as well. And of course, the finale is going to be played, but at this point, I mean, providing they survive the first tank, Helheim are going to be in a pretty commanding position to sort of just increase their lead by another sort of 300-400 points before the second tank comes into play.
Shit! Something tells me they're not checking for survivors anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't see any way back for Alerion, to be honest, at this point. I don't even think another controversial incident in their favour is going to be enough to help them.
Really did a graveyard
sweetie,
once
can
for
this
a whole
wait?
year. Okay.
Reloading.
You know, Helheim didn't let the map-free tank incident get to them too much either. They still carried on, they still made the save from all a bit of bonus this round. They still got a huge advantage. And I don't see it being usurped at any time.
Beat these sons of bitches till I lose my watch.
Jackie around.
But we do have the hit being triggered. The Smoker misses his initial pull-out. Survivors are currently separated into 2 twos, 2 in front, 2 still in the safe room. Do have the Charger to make use of this Spitter. And the Charger does get the charge, misses though. Spit goes down, and a pull goes out. Just a jockey left out. And he's running for the high hill. He's out. Wants nothing to do with the survivors and their guns. He's just baiting.
Only 8 HP off of Razov in that attack. So it was a very good start for Alerion, but it's map 4, it's an endurance map. It's still a very long way to go.
Do have a Boomer spawning in from above the survivors and managing to get the boom on one. The jockey comes in, gets a momentary capture on the shell, and the Charger goes in. Spit and common. Alice is in shit creek. And he almost takes a full in cap to that. He takes about 70, near enough 80 damage. He's currently being surrounded by common. It's gotta suck. Boom, charge, spawn. probably not a worse way that you can go for a survivor.
I think both teams are certainly no love lost between them. It's going to last half an hour or so.
It has indeed been a very drawn out game.
Next hit they all have is Smoker Charger Jockey, and we're just waiting for another 8 seconds before Mirror gets his spawn. And they might, who knows, they'll probably attack right now, or they will wait until the tank triggers, or when the survivors cross over the van to get back. They've got enough time actually to attack again and then probably have spawns ready. I mean, the current survivor progress is at about 42%. And there is a pull, charge and spit onto Nick. So with the exception of Dana's health, I mean, all the other 3 survivors have pretty much got an even spread of damage they've accumulated. And this just makes the tank's job easier, and it is Thug Life who gets this tank on that full.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get stuck anywhere. Survivors don't really have an option of playing this too aggressively. As you said, you know, there's one survivor, well, there's 2 survivors who are a punch away from slow. So that's a quick, easy corner. Boomer does get himself a double boom. Charger is going to come in on that. Gets taken out instantly though. Jockey falls in from behind, gets taken out once again instantly. It's going to give the survivors the opportunity to push to the end of the street, but the tank is going to be able to cut them off once again, so they're not going to be able to push pull room. And they're going to run one into the tank if they're not careful.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they want to keep pushing this tank as much as they do. Oh, but the tank missed.
Tank's put himself in a pretty bad position.
Oh, but he's managed to cut off Nick. Nick was too gung-ho. And now Nick's being separated, he's going to pretty much be dead as long as his tank holds off the other survivors.
Tank should be able to, I mean, he'll be able to stay alive. He's getting 1 or 2 bonus punches in on the survivors. He manages to land a rock as well, so it's definitely going to be a kill. But this could be the turning point here. Alerion can actually fall short of their goal. They've already lost 1 survivor. They have killed the tank, but they're down to 3. And they've got a lot of map to go.
Yeah, that was rather uncharacteristic of Lock, I must say. I mean, we've got Hockey and Hunter coming in, Smoker as well. Hunter getting team skeeted. And Jockey's still causing a bit of mayhem at the back and getting killed. But yeah, I mean, Locke's actually been one of Valerion's better performers in this match. Probably their best player. And I'm surprised he stayed as far ahead of the others as he did. And he kind of went in the wrong direction, allowed himself to be cut off by the tank. And made it easier for the Smoker and Hunter to combine and get a free kill.
I think in one sense he was... I think the situation they put themselves in Alerion in that case was pretty bad. There seemed to be a lot of confusions. People wanted to back out, people wanted to stay in and fight the tank, so I think there was a lot of miscommunication on the survivors' part. And as a result, it's cost them pretty dearly. Double boom now land. We do have the Hunter, which is going to land. Spit goes on top, a pull goes out on that. Michelle is able to get the clear. But things are not looking pretty for Alerion at the moment. We do manage to pick the spitter. Ellis is going to start the event while his 2 comrades remain boomed. Have the full focus of the common on there. But I think time is rapidly running out, unfortunately, for Alerion. It seems that they're putting themselves in quite a dangerous position, and they've repositioned now to underneath the canopy. Because before, if they were going to take it out on that rooftop, you know, that's the situation where it's kind of, okay, we need to get across this bridge as fast as possible, otherwise we are going to die. But the hit is coming in. We do see it's double cap landing. Charger unfortunately falling off though. Does come in, get himself a double charge, and does knock is that Coach to the ground, who is going to get in capped as a result.
Yeah. I mean, I would say they would carry on for more distance points and damage mitigation, but this is, with the score differential the way it is right now, even with the finale still to play, it's too much for them to climb up.
Definitely. I think it's pretty much sealed in the bag for Helheim at this point. Now we're going to see a further delay split go out, which is going to get an in gap on Michelle. A pull does go out on Coach, does get clear. Boomer is trying to rocket in. He's currently above the survivors. Gets popped before he manages to get anything. But the Spitter has saved himself. And there is a Hunter looking to go as well. Probably to cap one of the lower HP survivors and look for the second in cap, which would actually be a death, I think, on Michelle. Hunter goes in, gets himself speeded though. And they're across the grid to distance points. But it's still 1400. They've got to make up.
Yeah, it's just... Well, we always hope for the spectacle of a close game, but I think that's far gone by now. Locke trying to keep the mood up with a joke, but here comes another attack with a smoker, jockey, a charger, and a spitter. I'm actually surprised the other three survivors are still carried on at this rate. None of them are black and white either, that's surprising. And Charger fisted and then tried charging someone who was already down. And this Charger's still going. And the coach, you see with Rochelle being spat on, decides to go to Ellis.
Oh, he's going to get the pickup though. Spit puddle unable to spread that far and get the delay.
Hey, thanks, man.
I have a jockey spawning, I'm just going to be delaying this as much as they can.
You have to commend the effort though. The jockey does get taken out. Hunter now looking to do the same.
They're just toying with Alerion. They can delay this as much as they want. But they both tried going for the same person. And, oh, there it is! Hit that with a tongue break!
Oh, that's it. No, no! Self-clear.
Razor not saying goodnight Vienna without a fight.
And they get the pick. Do they go back for Rochelle? They're going back for Rochelle.
Yeah, they're gonna go back, but all these spawns are just coming in one by one. They finally get a bit of a breather. Get Rochelle up, but there is a Boomer and Smoker up and ready for the Witch.
Oh no. And Ellis is gonna go down in the back. I'm not leaving him.
They probably run out of ammo actually after having to do all that clearing. There is a charger, and oh, almost had Rochelle. And Coach is at the front on his own with 1 HP. With all this comms trying to get to him, fending them all off, killing the Spitter. And Dan is really... Oh, he gets eventually a back rub of a common. That's enough to put him to sleep.
They're fighting all guns and blazing. They're still alive. Oh, here comes the jockey.
Oh, the jockey just ran in for a scratch. And this is going to be it. Actually, kudos to Alerion for carrying on with 3 survivors as long as they did, but I mean, the gap now, what, 1,227 points. That's the advantage that Helheim have over Alerion now. I'm gonna play finale.
How much is the finale worth? Is it still worth 800?
Oh god, no, I think it's worth like 600. So yeah, I mean, it's like they're already ahead by like the map distance plus 50% bonus.
This bridge right toward the people who've been dropping bombs on us. Anyone want to talk about a plan B?
And the only way Alerion can do the unthinkable right now is wipe them here with the intro tank and then basically make the safe from, or make the chopper with at least 50% bonus, at least 2 or 3, high green survivors.
Ah, shit. Need a hand.
Guys, I seem to have slipped.
Those sound like soldiers. Somebody talk to him. Shit. I F this up. Can you help me out?
Well, hopefully a fast ready up will ensue.
Come on, let's get you up.
Yes, I think the Antarctic is already frozen over my fucking dinner. Sorry.
That's why the good Lord gave us microwaves.
Yo, somebody ought to pick up that radio.
Waiting for 4 people to actually ready up as well.
Is somebody gonna pick up the radio?
Yeah, Ramirez, I think, as well as rest in peace to my dinner, rest in peace to my stomach, because just eating itself with hunger.
Somebody pick up the radio.
Finally, oh my.
We are indeed ready. Oh, momentary boomer sack. And a tri-boom off that. No tank spawned as of yet.
I'm easily going to stay inside of a safe and clear all those commons. I have a jockey coming in at the front with a spitter going as well, but can't even spit damage. Tank is up. Who's it going to be? It's Salty, Dana.
I'm still surprised that with all the modifications and whatnot to these maps that they still haven't, you know, on the rare occasion this finale is played, there isn't something to stop the survivors standing on top of this fence. Kind of makes the first tank pretty damn irrelevant. Yeah, I can see a boomer go in there and get a boom on one. I thought the tank would have committed on that personally.
They haven't actually started the yeah, I mean, usually teams I know like to hit the button and bring down the bridge so that they've got easier sight on the tank, and he takes a lot more chip when he makes the run in.
Clearly a plan is had. Tank still has sight, but he's on his second pass. Should see the commit very soon. But the problem is, unless the SI can get the survivors off the top of that rail, this tank doesn't stand a chance in this area. He goes for the jump rope.
He's already down by quite a bit. They need to go, and Hunter grabs. Oh, Dana missing a punch.
Double cap.
And another punch. Dana's not linking his punches up. Wow.
Few couple of whiff punches, that could have been a wipe. That had very high potential of being so. Even with the jockey failing to land, the tank should have had that in cap a bit quicker and been able to get on the other survivor.
And yeah, because of those missed punches, Hotar was just clubbing him to death without Tonfa, and a mirror helping out a little bit at the end as well. Oh God, don't say that now, kiss me, for fuck's sake.
Almost there.
We do not need these things. That is a full in cap on Thug Life. Miro and Yota taking quite a bit of damage. Super holding all the real bonus to speak of. But now we see the potential for death charges. Do see a Hunter going in the back, but a bit early, truth be told. They don't have a charger either, so they have a jockey and a spitter to make plays with. So delay tactic is going to be the preferred route of action for the SI, but not getting anything with Shell whiffing, causing the boom to whip, but a jockey lands in front. But there's rails everywhere, so there is going to be no death job.
We'll give Thug the last of their pills. Of which they have no more left until they find more up ahead. There is a charger though! Oh, but he got to obviously base it out a little bit.
Yeah, charge into the clip charge. Catch the hitbox of the survivor just as you charge past, but not so lucky unfortunately. You do have a smoker spawned up behind it for the pull on code, but he is dealt with very swiftly. So that is already at the second tank, fair enough.
Yeah, and they have passed the 4K barrier.
Well, that's a pretty respectable score in Paris regardless. Even without the finale, I mean, they were in a pretty good way with, what, 3.7 before this map started?
Yeah.
You see the boomer getting picked as he tries the long-range arc boom over the top of the back end of the truck. The hunter jumping around, and we do get another charger up as well. And a smoker to set him up. We're going to see the attempt of a glory death charge pre-tank spawn.
I hope we see death charges sometime in this match. I mean, I don't think it matters so much who gets it now, but we have Vex who's got control of the tank here. I think he's going to want to get a wipe after not having it in the last map. But he's pushing him in with his car, and there's only a jockey to support him. I think he doesn't actually give a fuck anymore. He's just going YOLO with the car and loses it that into the water.
It rolled. Oh yeah, it did roll into the water. I thought it rolled into the side of the bridge for a second. But the tank is down to 1000 HP and it's just getting shredded. Survivors are in no real harm's way at the moment, and by the time this tank does commit, it's near enough dead. But we do see a...
There was a great opportunity to land a rock there. Unfortunately, caught the frames jutting out of the bridge there. Would have actually landed a rock on one of those survivors.
Yeah, well, the tank is down to 177 HP. So, should he look at the survivors in a manner which they deem offensive, there's a good chance he's going to die.
Well, it's looking pretty damn offensive right now. He's only got 54 HP remaining and he's just running backwards.
Well, when they do eventually AI, it should trigger the horde spawn instantly.
Wouldn't the tank just be better off jumping into the water?
Potentially. But the survivors have gone forward, so the horde has spawned. There is a momentary double cap landing up in front with 2 survivors boomed in the back. 3 survivors, sorry. And it looks like the survivors have had enough of waiting around, and they are just going to try and push the spot. And
he chose to jump the tank into the water the moment it turned AI. So he kind of had the right idea, he just probably might have regretted not doing it sooner.
Hey, look out! Reloading!
Zanto at the back. Oh, it was a charge! Wow! For a second I thought Michelle probably actually was going to get a death charge, but she caught the side. The charger was clear before it could complete it.
So Helheim are definitely going to make the save them on this as well. Don't think they have enough actually to be taken into the 5k bracket. Ah, the clutch tank.
Is there actually a tank, or is it just...
I heard the dong. I'm just going to go on that, but no, there is no tank in play. We all remember how much of a clutch tank this was. Handing that one moon rock that the survivors tried getting into the helicopter. Oh, now there's a tank. Nope, still no tank. We've been baited.
A charger spawning on the other side of the helicopter. I think he was just having a friendly chit-chat. He's gone to the water. Oh yeah, Rails, I could tell Alerion were giving 0 fucks. I just think in terms of giving 0 fucks, they could have done it more emphatically by just jumping into the water when they realised the tank just wasn't going anywhere. Doing it sooner rather than like at the end when you made it AI. I swear to God, if there's a restart, I am walking out of this room and having my dinner before the cast is over.
Before we run across this bridge right toward the people who've been dropping bombs on us, anyone want to talk about a plan B? Oh! No. Alright, let's go.
So for a match that was due to start 2.5 hours ago almost, finally at the end road.
Finally, the last round. Be surprised by this point though not to see Alerion start the event straight away, run past the tank and jump straight into the water. Just for shits and giggles, because we are seeing the countdown being drawn.
Oh yeah, I sacked the Sintra tanker the other day. It's certainly fitting with the theme, but obviously it's Helheim's tank now, not Alerion's, so fuck. We miss out on that opportunity.
Hey, we're gonna make it out of here.
Somebody talk to me. Doctor!
That was the first attack shot down there.
Anyone grab that radio?
Well, at least they're still rolling out and shutting down everything. With loss of health, very minimal.
Indeed, now the big play comes up. Can they do the same with the tank?
And Supra's decided to go spec mode.
So Nero is going to be this last tank.
We are not infected.
Oh, it was strange. He was there for about inspect for like a few seconds, I'm not sure why, but okay. Miro has the tag, trying to land a couple of rocks if he can, but
It's going to be difficult through a gap like that.
that, yeah, and plus the survivors are pretty much on point shooting down a rock. Oh, okay, super respect to give Miro the tank, apparently. They're allowed to do that.
Oh, well, the tank is
Oh wow, there's a charger and jockey, and they both get double caps inside the safe room. Hunter coming in, getting M2'd.
This pretty much looks like all she wrote.
Yeah.
She's got 1,000 HP left, but you've only got one survivor to deal with. GG's have been called, and that is going to be the game. So we do see Team Helheim claiming victory with a total score of 4,596 to Alerion's 2,535. So pretty big gap despite the shenanigans of the tank getting stuck on map 3, but a pretty convincing win for Helheim, which secures their spot in the grand final.
There's a lot of love being shared between both teams of commentary, but otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. 2K difference. And the server shut down because all players are idle.
Yay! Well, a solid performance, solid end to the evening considering the server's, let's call it stability issues throughout the game. But that is going to be the first final spot secured for